guys, how are you doing? Welcome to, I just snagged. Welcome to my weekly Facebook Live show. I am Jen Burson. I'm the founder of Generation PR and the creator of Generation Academy, which is an entire suite of programs, products, a community, everything you need as a PR professional to hone your skills, pitching the media, turn you into a pitching powerhouse in our program, the Pitch Lab. And then I will show you how to grow and scale a profitable agency and make money, love your business. For anyone who is on here right now, can you just let me know my mic quality or volume? Because I was just on a call and they said they had a hard time hearing me. And I tried to adjust, but I don't know if it helped. Can you let me know how my mic quality is? And I'm going to see if I can echo cancellation should be good. Let me know. I know I'm a little delayed here. This is going to be a really good chat, one I'm really excited about. Let me know. I just want to make sure you can hear me okay. So I'll wait a second until I see some feedback. It's good? Okay, Angela. Yes. Hello, my dear. Okay, great. Also, hi. Hi for you as well. Angela and I basically share a brain when it comes to PR. So I'm so glad you guys are here. This time of year, it feels crazy. I know we're all just in holiday gift guide pitching mode and this crazy news cycle. We had a call yesterday for the Pitch Lab. Several people across North America. We had, Serena was on, she's in Canada, and a couple others that were also in Canada, actually two others in Toronto, right, Serena? And we're all just working so hard. Some people feel like they're spinning their wheels, but we worked through some recommendations and some suggestions, which is the value of that Pitch Lab hive mind. We get the insight. Oh, hot mess. Oh, Angela, I love that you did that. I have to say, Angela said, I just put a client on hold today because they're a hot mess. That is a great decision as a service provider. Sometimes clients are not ready. They don't have it together. And you can get involved in their hot mess even though it's not technically what we do. And I'm not sure that's the right decision. You can advise them, but sometimes you can step back until they get it together and get you what you need to be effective and successful in doing media outreach. And I think it's a really empowering decision to tell a client, you're not there yet. And when you have XYZ figured out and in place, hit me up. We'll hit the ground running and crush it for you. But until then, you've got to work out these things on your own because that's not what we do. So I just want to commend you because that's a hard decision. I just want to be, proactive in getting, the decisions you need to make to run your business successfully. Sorry, I'm logging in because I see there's a spammer. I'm just going to bounce her just because, it distracts me. I don't know. I get distracted easily. So let me just see where I am and how can I... give me 1 second, guys. And if you're watching the replay, yeah, I know that's a spam. Where are the comments here? Can one of you guys report it? For some reason, I cannot see my comments. Where am I watching this? Hold on. Blah, 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 blah. Sorry. It's not showing up for me. Okay, comments. Okay, got it. And we are going to block. Okay. Sorry. All done. Bye-bye. Okay, back to it. So this time of year is crazy. And, my team and I were connecting about we just talk about what we want, like the value we want to provide to our members during what time of year, when are you going to be thinking about certain things. And we usually do a Black Friday promotion. And this year I thought, I don't know that I want to do that. If somebody needs something from us, we'll be happy to create something that will meet your needs. We can point you in the right direction. We do have some packages that are like a lower price that will give you the things you need. It's usually like a starter type kit. So if that's you and you need something like that from us, just ask us, because we'll do that. But I wanted to opt out this year of this purchasing frenzy that happens around this time of year, and instead I want to focus on being present in your business. Nelson, I know that you are feeling lousy. I know you have COVID. I'm really glad you're here. I was going to mention it and I wasn't sure because I haven't seen you in a little while, and I just want to send my best to you. I hope you're feeling okay and taking care of yourself. And thanks for letting the community know. I know you have so many friends in our community, so we can all just check up on you and see how you're doing. But thanks for being here, even though I know you're probably feeling quite rotten. And I hope you feel better soon. So we're going to opt out of this purchasing frenzy and focus on investing in yourself and being present in your business, because I don't think it's always about looking for something to buy or buying something because it happens to be a deal. It could be about focusing this year on being intentional with your agency and your life. And sometimes we get into this like go, go, go mindset and perspective of just things are happening really fast. The news cycle is really fast. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but like every year the holidays creep up earlier and earlier because the promotional activities from retailers and people showing their decorations early. You walk into a store and the day after Halloween, it's like we almost bypass Thanksgiving and it all goes to Christmas and the new year. And it's happening earlier and earlier. And then Black Friday used to legit be only on Thanksgiving night. But now it's like Black Friday through, see what, I knew it. This ring is snagging my shirt. Blah. Okay, I think that's okay. Black Friday, Cyber Monday, now that's extended, and now there's like Giving Tuesday, and then we're noticing that there's already like early Black Friday. So it just feels like it's just closing in on us all the time. And I don't love that feeling. I like to pause and focus on what I need, what I want in my personal life and professionally. I want to be intentional as I build my agency. And I am a certified high performance coach. I got my certification this year because I was looking for a way to provide the next step in this journey, in this path to work-life integration, because that's my purpose in life. That is my mission. And actually, it's interesting because, my Elevate group program where we focus on, high performance, it was like all about, presence. This week it was last week, we worked on purpose statements, and it was so empowering. I was actually blown away by the transformation in just figuring out. We walked through a process to develop your purpose statement, and there was a member who left the call feeling very lost and feeling very uncertain. And we followed up with this process. And the next week, which was this Tuesday, she was when I tell you, a different person. I wish there was someone on here who was on the call, because her light was like shining through the computer. And she just was like, can I share mine? And it was so empowering for her. There was positivity in that uncertainty because it felt like this was an ongoing evolution, and she embraced that rather than feeling afraid of it. And so I know that when we are intentional and we are purposeful and we are present in our lives and our businesses, and you know what I mean by present, like sometimes you're physically here, but your mind is a million miles away. Sometimes you're physically, oh my God, Serena, it was so amazing. And everyone on the call was like, I'm blown away. I'm so inspired. It was incredible. And she said she was like transformed by just going through that process. And it took everything we've been working on. Now it will be 12 weeks and just solidified exactly what her purpose is in her life and her business. And she has a direction and energy moving forward to live her purpose. I was like, oh my God, this is so awesome. I was just so excited to see that. And just the shift in her body language, her energy was amazing. I'm happy, Serena, to talk to you offline about it. And I know she'd be comfortable, but I don't know broadly if she would be okay with that. But, and you guys are in a very similar place, like in your lives. It might be interesting to chat about it. I'll leave you a voice memo. So as an intentional move this year, we opted out of Black Friday. We wanted to save your inbox from noise, from overwhelm. Give me a thumbs up if you appreciate that. I know we do send a lot of emails and we're trying to cut back on them. We have a lot of sequences, and sometimes when you opt into a few things, you get multiple sequences and they come at the same time. We don't always know what you're getting and when, but we know you're getting a lot of emails from other people, and we didn't want to add to the noise and the distraction and the clutter. So if you want to make this move for yourself, and you want to kind of recenter yourself and get grounded in your agency again, I have for you today 6 ways that I can share that will help you be more intentional in your business. And so what is that? What is intentionality? I know it's like this big buzzword right now, and sometimes it's hard to figure out what that means for you specifically. What is intentionality? When something is intentional, it is planned, it is done by design, it is purposeful, it's deliberate. When you are being intentional, you are being deliberate, strategic, intentional, and living on purpose, like deciding what your purpose is and living towards that goal and that purpose. And I know flying by the seat of our pants sometimes is how things happen when business just kind of pushes us into a forward direction and we have to be reactive and do all that just to keep up. Maybe you're making decisions on a whim or you're not doing your research. That's how to not be intentional. But when you decide to implement this intentionality into your business, you're deciding to only take action on the things that are the most important for you in your business. And you're recentering your business's focus and putting your goals and your values at the forefront. And the really cool thing is that it makes decision making a lot easier when you're very clear on your values and your vision. I talk about that a lot. Like, I will know when I talk to a client or research a potential client if they will align with my vision for my business, how I want my business to feel, if their core values and how they run their business or what their purposes of their business aligns with my core values. And if it doesn't, it's a clear no. So it's kind of an interesting byproduct of living intentionally with your business, that you get to have clarity around the decisions that you're making. And it makes no's a lot easier, and it makes hell yes, a lot easier to identify as well. So here are 6 ways that I have for you to be more intentional in your business. The first one is remember why you became a PR pro. You're on this journey for a reason. We're on this journey together for a reason. Maybe you wanted to forge your own path in your dream industry, or being on your own and doing this service where you can add and sort of take away clients and workload as needed in your life. You have, like, when I had kids, my bandwidth was low right at the beginning, and we just maintained. I was like, let's just keep everybody in the door. I don't have the ability to grow. Let's just keep everyone happy and do what we can to just status quo, maintain. And that is what being a PR pro and working for myself afforded me. I wanted more time to be focused on my kids at those, like, really, early phases in their lives. And that allowed me to do that. And whatever it is for you, having that at the center of your business is the key to success. So your business choices should be aligned with your values and your why. So take this time. This Thanksgiving, things are a little slow. Certainly the week between Christmas and the New Year, really slow. And really sit and reflect on why you got into PR in the first place. Maybe that was last year. Maybe it was over a decade ago. Maybe it was more than 3 decades ago if you're, Nelson, or 3 decades ago if you're Nelson. Is your why still the same? And has that changed at all? And that's okay if it's changed. It could change for the better, for new reasons, like, you did become a mom, or you did grow your family, or you decided you wanted to travel and be working while you're on the go. I just talked to somebody whose life was literally, nomad life with their wife. They got married and said, we just want to move around the world and go for a month here and there. And that was our focus. So that their why changed, and that's okay. So with that why, when I say why, it's like, what is the reason why you want to work in this industry? Why you want to work for yourself? What does that mean for your life? The flexibility, the freedom, all of that. When that's at the front of your mind, you can have an easier time being intentional and making those decisions, like I said, for your business, big and small. That's when making those choices around your niche and the services you provide, and, like Angela did, saying no to a client or having them pause and not getting involved in their hot mess, that comes from a place of intentionality, saying my business should make me feel like I have a purpose, like I'm happy, like I'm doing the work I love and adding tremendous value to my clients, but also not make me feel crazy every single day. Working with a hot mess client because they don't have their ish together is not being, on purpose or living your why with your business. So it makes that decision really easy, which is why I really acknowledge that when she said it. It's a big deal to identify that and say, I don't have to stick around here for this. And struggle because they don't have it figured out. Take your time, figure it out, come back to me when you're ready. And this is one of the main things we focus on in this Elevate program that we put together. We just ran this beta group and we're finishing up next week, but it's been really awesome to see them, like I said, developing purpose statements, identifying their why in life and business. Like I always have said, when you're strategic and intentional with the decisions you make in your business, and it's all stepping stones, it works towards a certain goal. And I want you to really identify what you want your business to feel like and what kind of work lights you up, because you should still love your business after 10, 20 years. I'm 17 plus, almost 18 years in, which is crazy to think about, crazy, but I still love my business. And that's why I want to share how others can create a business strategically and love their business long-term as well. So know your why, remember your why, spend some time to really identify that, because it will be a guiding North Star for you, making decisions, big and small, easy. Number 2 is get your time management skills in check. This is around the ability to structure your day, how you work best, how you want your day to feel. This is one of the biggest benefits of being an entrepreneur. And so you get to choose, how do you want your days to be? And that blessing can also be a curse, because it's way too easy to get caught up in these little tasks, these hiccups, these reactive fires we're putting out. And sometimes we lose track of time. So being intentional in your business means being intentional with your time. So you can form a daily routine that sets you up for success. Stick to your boundaries on meeting times, call lengths, create distraction-free work zones in your home. One of the ways that we are able to really ensure that our meetings are productive and they do not run on too long with all this like BSing and shooting the, we really only schedule time that we absolutely need. I know a lot of people will just block out an hour. You're losing a lot of time in between when calls, because you're kind of waiting for the next thing, and you really don't check into an activity because you blocked out that time and you're off and you're getting on to the next thing. And so you're kind of like, well, I don't, have really anything I can do in this little spot. So intentionally book a smaller window, and then we set call agendas. We circulate them around the team to make sure everybody has all of their questions responded to or on the agenda, so we can get responses. And we also have it in the meeting note on the client's schedule, so and we'll send a note and say, please add anything to the agenda you want to discuss. We leave a spot for them, and now everybody's thoughts are on the agenda. Call agendas are my love language. Angela, I'm telling you, we share a brain. I feel like we are so aligned on all of this stuff. But this is a way to really ensure that everybody's time is used the most wisely. And I'm sorry, if a client wants to talk to you every single week, you need to push back. Who's this in my document? Who is that? Oops, hold on, let me see. I just want to make sure there's no stranger in here. Oh, okay, got it. Someone on the team. Cool. I saw an unusual person in there. Just want to make sure it's not like a weird hacker. Agendas, planning your time strategically. The other thing is focusing on your energy level and the days and the time of the day where you feel the most focused, the most creative. Do not give that time to responding to nonsense in your inbox, okay? Hear me out here. I know as PR professionals, we always want to be super responsive and get back to people right away and be really on the ball and show clients like, I got your message, I'm working on it, look at me, I'm super responsive. We love doing that too. However, if you're using your most focused, your most creative time of day to just triage your emails, you're wasting that horsepower. You are wasting it on other people's prioritization of how you're spending your time. That's all your inbox is just a sorting, opportunity for other people to slip in and distract you and take your time because their need is immediately in your inbox, and you get that alert and you feel you have to respond to it. If you're distracting your flow state of working on strategies and creative things just to respond to email, you're wasting that horsepower in this minutia, and that's not the best use of your time. So building dedicated time in your day to work on certain tasks will keep you focused, let your creative and strategic juices flow. Sounds weird, but you get what I'm saying. And that for you could be doing all of that stuff in a single day. It could be, I keep my meetings with clients to one day, always, unless there's an exception and it's a one-off. Tuesdays are meeting days. Wednesdays for me are coaching days. And, but that's not the whole day. It's one program I'll do a coaching call for. Thursdays, I do Facebook Live. We did another call earlier right before. It's like we're sometimes front of house, like, forward facing camera, social media, like ready. And sometimes it's like behind the scenes back office days where I'm not on camera and I don't have to be like on, and I get to really focus. So Mondays are strategy days for my business. I work on my two businesses every day, or really focusing on the direction every single week. I meet with my team on Mondays. We come up with the strategies. What do we need in the near and long term? What are we offering our community? What does our community want to know about? How can we build content around that? We're working on that all the time. But I will also use the morning block to be really intentional with the creative and deep work that I'm doing, so that I'm not distracted by email. I'll quickly look, and if there's nothing like burning, need or urgent, I will just move on to my focused activity. And then, of course, I work in blocks of like 50 minutes, Pomodoro. You can do 25 to start, take a 5-minute break, look out into the distance, refocus your eyes, get a glass of water, but know that there's a break coming up, and that will help you be really focused on the work you're doing. And try not to get pulled into the distractions, the minutia, because you will just be in reactive mode, and that is not being intentional. The third way is lead with kindness, trust, and respect. So as a PR pro, we know we're managing a lot of relationships. So we have our, client relationships, we have media contacts, we have our own professional network, and our team. And so this intentionality in your business will extend to them as well. And there are endless ways to bring intentionality into your PR relationships. But a few ideas are: you can be a really careful listener in discussions with clients. That could even extend, and I hope it does, to your discovery calls with clients. Because, and we teach this inside the Agency Accelerator, when you're on those calls, you're stepping into your role as the expert, and you're serving them, you're supporting them, you're guiding them even during that getting to know you phase, where it might just be, the early days, and you're really trying to show them, like, we know this niche, we know your industry, this is the way it works. You're guiding them to educate them, but you're also listening. And the listening part will help you identify their goals, their objectives, what didn't work the last time they worked with a PR firm. You can then literally like parrot that back to them. A lot of times people they can't identify the problem even when they say it, until they hear someone else say it back to them, and they'll say, yeah, oh my God, it's like you know exactly what's in my head. And it's like, well, you just told me. They don't know. You can just repeat it back in a different way. They don't always remember they said it like that. So you can take that information, you're being a careful listener, and you can include it in your strategy, in your proposal, in email responses to clients, just really showing you listen. You understand what they're looking for. You understand their challenges and their goals. And you're showing, by being an active listener, that you are really checked in. We also do this with clients, like what they had a baby, what's the baby's birthday, what's the baby's name, and then on calls, following up, is Tyler sleeping through the night, is all like little questions like that, so that we show like we're really checked in. We're people, you're going through some stuff in your life, we're really going to keep on top of it. So be a careful listener also with your team. Trust also that your media contacts, they're doing their job and they do it well. And, when you land a pitch or you organize an exclusive, really convey that trust, give them a complete story to pull from, and know that they are going to do a great job with it. You're not going to like breathe down their neck. What are you writing? Can you change this? You can't do that. So you have to give that respect to the journalists and their place in how they're positioning your client, and they're kind of working on their directives from their publisher or their editor. They have reasons for linking out to certain things. They have reasons for excluding certain things. You can't second guess. You have to trust that relationship. You also have to be willing to be a sounding board for professional contacts in need of your advice or assistance. And I'm not saying let people pick your brain for free. Sometimes they do just need a little quick, like, hey, can I run something by you? Sure. Be generous with your expertise, because you're putting that out into the world. You're giving something in exchange for nothing. I'm not saying, listen, it's not an hour of a stranger saying, can I pick your brain? That's not what I'm talking about. I do hope you charge for giving that level of your time. And, when somebody pays, they pay attention. What I'm talking about is just being a sounding board. You have your professional relationships. You have people that you respect, that you want to keep a positive, mutually beneficial relationship with. If they want to run advice run a scenario by you and seek your advice or need some assistance on something, offer them a contact. No big deal. Give them some insight into what they're asking and how they can improve it a little bit. It doesn't have to be an hour-long conversation, but you're just being generous and, opening up your heart and sharing your expertise, and that comes back to you in your life. It just does. So be kind and open-hearted in that sense, and also treat your team with respect. Show you care and you believe in them. And this is probably the most important thing. Make sure they know they're doing a good job. Make sure they feel appreciated. A lot of times clients don't do that. And it sucks. Your team members like securing something great for your client, and then they don't really give it the acknowledgement that it maybe deserves. That's also your job too. That team member is making you look good by landing press and working really hard. And you want them to feel encouraged to work hard on your behalf. So make sure they know that you appreciate the work they're doing. Their time and effort is really appreciated. Their results are great. Make sure they know you believe in them and that you care. If they go through something in their personal life, follow up and ask them about it. That goes back to being a careful listener. Okay, so that's number 3. Lead with kindness, trust, and respect. How we doing, guys? Quite a few of you still on here. Let me know. Are we feeling these strategies for living intentionally in your business? Let me know let me know you're here. Give me a heart, thumbs up. I want to make sure I'm not talking to myself. And I know I'm delayed, so it's always a little weird. Oh, I can take a sip of my coffee. Awesome. Hundo P. Serena says 100%. My kids say Hundo P. Number 4, you've got to let go of perfectionism. When I say be intentional, it does not mean being perfect. You are going to make mistakes along the way, missteps. You might not reach one of your goals in an ideal timeline. You might take on a client even though you ignored the red flags. Like, don't beat yourself up over it. It's all okay. Intentionality in your agency is about taking meaningful action towards reaching your goals, building your business the way you want and the way you want it to work and feel for yourself. And as long as you stay on that path and you keep working towards those goals, you kind of chip away at it, and you hold your why top of your mind, close to your heart. You just really keep that purpose, your purpose statement, your why top of mind. Timing doesn't matter. The timing of when doesn't matter as much. Part of manifestation, and we talked about that too, is, and you might not believe in it, but it's really about kind of training the mind to be ready and to live your goals like they've already happened. And so you also have to kind of let go of the how and the when, because things are going to happen as they're meant to. And they might happen a little differently than you anticipate, but it could be better than you ever imagined. You know, you can't be so set on a certain outcome exactly that way and exactly in a certain time, because you really can't control that. All you can do, there are manifestation strategies grounded in neuroscience. And part of that is letting go of the how and the why. It's not just about creating a vision board and looking at it and being like, these things are going to come true because this magic collage now is going to create my future reality. It's really training your brain to be in that mindset of the person who has those things. And all of a sudden you start, it's like the be do have, right? You start being that person. You start making decisions and showing up and aligning yourself with people who, what, you know, a $1 million CEO would align themselves with. You start making the decisions like a, you know, $1 million a year CEO, agency owner would start to make, because you're training your brain for that outcome as if it's already happened to you. So you don't get to say it's going to happen exactly this way. That's part of perfectionism, trying to control everything and control the outcome of everything. And we can't do that. We can only really understand our why, our purpose, how we want our business to feel, and start making decisions from that place. Angela, again, here we go. Yes, manifestation isn't magic. It's making conscious and subconscious decisions every day that align with what you want. Yes, and that is grounded in neuroscience. And I don't care if you believe in manifestation or you don't. It just is, you know. And you might as well, you can either sit and worry and start to manifest your biggest anxieties and your deepest fears, or you can train your brain to start believing and knowing what your future reality is or could be, and start to make those decisions now that will get you there versus focusing on the worries, right? So we do talk about this in the Elevate group coaching experience, the group coaching program. That's the like high performance, you know, smaller mastermind that I mentioned. It's just when you understand your making decisions around positive psychology, physiology, feeling your absolute best, you know, showing up energized and on purpose with intention every day, those things that you desire will start to come to you. And again, the timeline and the how, we can't control that. So you have to let go of perfectionism, but it is kind of magic. Oh my God, how crazy was this? Okay, this was so crazy. Serena was on yesterday. Tell me if this was so crazy. There was a member of our community who asked a question about securing TED Talks on our Pitch Lab call. Has anyone ever done it? How does it work? What's involved? Is there a fee? How do you apply? What's the process like? Crazy, right, Serena? And I was kind of sharing, I have like just a tiny, tiny, tiny bit of experience, just a teeny, tiny little bit. And so I was like, I know that it, you know, whatever, it's like this, but I don't really know. I've never done it. That very second, I'm not even kidding you, somebody popped on the call that's in our group who just did a TED Talk in June or July. And I knew she did. We had talked about it. I knew her thesis. I knew she was training for it. We talked about the topic and kind of gave her my insight, just a tiny little bit, because I align very much with what her topic was. But she was like, what are you guys talking about? And I was like, oh my God, you're here. Because Aliza did a friggin' TED Talk and just went through this process. How crazy is that? It was like our member needed that insight and she put it out there like, this is something that I need help with. I need information. And boom, Aliza jumped on the call that very moment and shared everything that she experienced, from the pitch to the, you know, training to the to the talk itself. It was amazing. I was like blown away. I still am. I think that was like one of the coolest things. So also the community is so like helpful. But yeah, I mean, How cool is that? Just putting it out there and then having the resource you need in the very moment you need it. Couldn't have happened any, better, more perfect than that. So gotta let go of perfectionism. That's number 4. Number 5 is help your team be more intentional too. You are the leader of your agency. You are a role model, and that also means not just your team, but anybody watching you. For my children, I know that I'm a role model to them, obviously. I mean, I'm the mom, my husband, he's the dad. They're seeing 2 entrepreneurs hustling, but loving the work they're doing, making a difference, choosing work that lights us up. My kids are seeing that. And it's funny because I'll ask my son, what do you want to be? And he's like, I want to be a consultant. I want to have my own business. I'm like, what is a consultant? He's like, well, daddy's a consultant. And I said, okay, well, what do you think daddy does? I mean, he's smart. He knows what's up, but it's interesting because you may not even know it, but you're a role model to your family. I mean, Serena's mom has always been an entrepreneur. She's always had her own businesses. And now Serena has her own business. And she works with, her mom as a partner in her business. But having that courage to start your own business, a lot of that comes from seeing your parents successfully do it. Your mom is a role model. Your mom is friggin' awesome. I hope she can hear me right now. Hi. But your kids are watching, and also with your team, set your team to follow your intentional example. You can set the tone for your agency by sharing your goals. Share your goals with them, or include your team in the goal setting process. Oh, good. Tell her, hi. I love women entrepreneurs, especially, that generation where it wasn't always done. I mean, my mom was part of a generation where she couldn't open a bank account without her husband's signature. My mom was the first. Hi, Mom. I know you're going to watch this. My mom was the first, woman in her family to go to college. And I think her parents said, why would you go to college? Why don't you just become a secretary and get married? And my mom has a master's degree in elementary education and reading improvement. She was a teacher. She's extremely smart, so she just has always wanted more. She sold real estate. She helps my dad in his business. But, that was not always done. So I just have just so much respect for women who took that risk, when it wasn't always, there weren't so many examples of people running their own businesses, like we have now. So stick to your boundaries. The other thing, I always talk about that, and talk through this expectation that your team is going to stick to their boundaries as well. I always respect my team's time. I don't care where they are, what they're doing, as long as they get results. I don't care. So if they have to go and take their kid to the doc, it's like, I don't need to know about any of that, because I know that they are just effective and they're getting their work done, and they could work when their kids go to bed. Just set those boundaries. I also want my team to respect the boundaries we set when it comes to clients, because sometimes clients will go around you as the agency owner and go directly to your team member and ask for things maybe that are out of scope. Shady. We have it happen all the time. Let me know if that happens to you guys. But clients will go to the team and ask for things that are out of scope. And the team sometimes will just say, let me take care of that for you. And we often do things that are out of scope just to be a great service provider. But if it is an extremely, as Serena says yes recently, sucks, puts them in a really bad spot. But if they're doing something that's incredibly time consuming, we need to know about that. So the team has to respect those boundaries and be able to push back, or at least come to you and say, this doesn't feel right. How should I handle this? Push back. We have boundaries. So we want to make sure also that we're open and giving feedback, and give out praise, give out constructive feedback. That's part of being intentional with your team. setting those expectations, letting them know when they've met or exceeded your expectations, letting them know that maybe we always do it like in a compliment sandwich, right? So we'll say something really positive, then we'll give that really like helpful, constructive feedback, and then we'll end with the positive. So it's like a compliment sandwich. And right in the middle is the thing that you really want them to think about, to improve, to work on. But the tone is constructive. It's not criticism or critical. Oh, yeah. See, so Serena found out that the team went around her. The client went around her, talked to the team. And when she found out, she charged the client for the service that was going to be super time consuming. Yeah, they don't get to do that. They're sneaky like that. They'll try to, take advantage of the team's, interest in being, helpful and seeking approval and wanting to serve. And we all want to serve, but it's like, if it's way out of scope, time consuming, they don't get to just drop that on your team member and hope they don't say anything. So you're giving constructive feedback. It's part of being intentional. And when you set that example, they're also more likely to give each other that same recognition, that same advice. Everyone in your agency will be better for it, and they'll be more motivated to perform and will grow their skills and confidence. Everybody can be somebody in the team that is improving the overall performance of the team. That's something that you can empower your team to do. I've seen agencies that will pick like a person of the week, and they'll have a weekly meeting, and that person will say, I am choosing Serena to be my, person of the week because she was so helpful to me. I was really in a bind. She shared a media list that she already built out that was so targeted. It had been recently updated. It was really great. I appreciate her sharing that hard work that she did. And I got 3 immediate replies to my pitch. And so Serena's my person of the week. And then Serena will pick somebody the next week. So it's like throwing a ball, and the next person has to pick the next person. But it really forces you to acknowledge and recognize and notice those things that the team is doing to make the overall performance of the group better. So that is how you can empower your team to be intentional, and also just realize that you are a role model and people are watching you. And do you want them to see that you're stressed out, you're spinning your wheels, you're running around like your hair's on fire? The client is like driving me crazy, and you're just like talking smack about your clients? Or do you want your team to see that you're loving the clients you work with, that they're all so cool and they want to work hard on their behalf, that you have these fun, playful relationships with clients and also deliver on results, and that you can work and still have fun while you're working. You can work and still be totally like lit up by the work you do. It does not have to be a drag. You show up and you're energized and you have a positive outlook. You're a role model. So just keep that in mind. Every time you show up on a call, a meeting, are you low energy? Do you bring the energy of those around you down? Or do you bring the heat and light it up and, make people feel energized and happy and excited about the work they're doing? That's what I want to bring, is that level of energy. So my team is energized as well. And the last one, set goals for yourself and make a plan to reach them. And I'm going to say something a little maybe controversial, but, we're going to set aside time for ourselves to outline our goals for the next year. And this is the perfect time of year to do it. If you want to understand your revenue goals and what goes into achieving those revenue goals, that is what we cover in the Agency Accelerator in the strategy pillar. That's one of the things. It's who do you serve? How do you serve them? We work on your niche, and we work on how you want your business to feel. And then we work on your revenue goal. What do you want to make? How much do you want to work? How many clients do you want to have? Can you afford to hire a team? What do you have to actually charge to make all of these things happen? That's a goal, right? So set aside time for yourself to outline your goals for the next year. And when you're deciding your goals, think about, do like a retrospective on the last year. Think about things you want to change, that you want to improve. Think about what you and your team could have done better and where you want to see your agency grow. But also think about what worked really well and what felt really good, so you can continue to work in that direction as well and do the things that feel really good and do more of it. The other thing, and this is where it might be controversial, is setting SMART goals. So that is specific, measurable, and the A is achievable or attainable. And I'm going to say, maybe let's change the A to all in, okay? And I'll tell you why in a second. Relevant, time bound. This is not obviously my thing. This is a very, like they say, SMART goals, specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound, okay? So you have something within a certain period of time that you can measure, so you have met the goal. And that's why an annual revenue goal works really well, because it's within the 12 months. There's a dollar amount. It's very measurable. You can say, within a certain time period or how you want to earn that revenue. But the achievable part kind of bothers me a bit. And here's why. Let's change it to all in or something like that, because I don't want you setting achievable goals or safe goals just for the purpose of checking the box. I want you to set an all-in goal. Push yourself. Excuse me, right? So let's say your revenue this year is $100,000. And you think, well, I think like 20% growth sounds reasonable, right? So I want to increase my revenue next year by 20%. So I'm going to say 120. Easy, right? And that's probably most businesses. If they had 20% growth year over year, they would be so happy. That would be like amazing. But not for us. I think there's so much more potential. You can 3x your revenue. You can 10x your revenue. Seriously. Making small tweaks. There's a lot of ways to do it without making yourself crazy. And also, by the way, if you 10x your revenue, you can bring on a lot of people to help out, so it doesn't have to feel so overwhelming. But let's go all in. Instead of saying 20% because it's achievable and you can check the box in December because you met your revenue goal, go all in and push yourself. Go for an, pie in the sky. Do like a good, better, best, okay? And push yourself, because even, let's say you want to go from 100,000 to 1 million in revenue. That's a huge jump. But you can work backwards from that goal. Be intentional with the decisions you make, with what you charge, with the kinds of clients you attract, with really amplifying the results you've gotten in a specific niche where you want to do more work in that. You want to charge a premium. You've gotten great results. Look what I've done. Clients are like, I want that too. What's your rate? And they go, great, let's start. They don't push back because they want to work specifically with you, right? Because you've shown you can get results. So let's say you aim for $1 million in revenue. That's your best. Let's say your better is 500. I mean, it's pretty amazing, right? And your good is 200 because you were 100 last year, and like good would be double, right? That'd be amazing. I know that's scary. It feels scary. But what's going to happen if you don't achieve it? Nothing. What is going to happen is you will probably get more outcome, more results, closer to the all-in goal than you would get if you just played it safe and met that A as an achievable, attainable. That's what I've always seen SMART as. Achievable. Check the box. Yay, I meet my goals, right? Attainable. Check the box. Yay, I'm the kind of person. What is it? So what you're doing here is you are ascribing, is that the word? Meaning. You are placing meaning about yourself on the ability to achieve your goals, right? So you either achieve it and that says, I achieved goals. I achieved my goal. yay, I did everything I set out to do, go me. Or you can put it out there pie in the sky and say, I'm going from 100 to a million. And that is your all-in goal. And let's say you don't reach a million. It says nothing about you. Did you give it your all? Did you love the work you did? Did you probably surpass what you would have done if you chose an achievable goal? Yeah, that's the point. I hope this makes sense. Does this make sense? I don't want you to choose something safe because it's going to make you feel good when you check the box. I want you to choose something that will push you in a great way. Okay, good. The thumbs up. I'm like, am I making myself clear? And it gets you to a place where you're like, wow, I never thought. And the first time I did this, when I started working with Miranda's my integrator. You guys know that. She is my everything in the, this side of the business. She does customer service and just everything you could possibly imagine. I have an idea. I'm like, let's do this. And she goes, no, that's a next year thing, or let's put it on the back burner, or yes, this works really well. Like when I said, I don't want to do Black Friday. I want people to live intentionally and focus on themselves and their businesses and be grateful for the life they're building for themselves. And I want to help them do that, which is why we're having this talk right now versus like, get my Black Friday promotion. Like I said, if you guys need anything from us, tell us, we'll direct you. We have something at every price point to help you in your business, also free, which is what this is. But first time I started working with Miranda on a launch, and I said, for me, a launch is about impact. It's not about income. How many people can we support? How many people can we serve? It's an impact goal. And when you have impact, then the income follows. That's a byproduct of it. But I just want to help as many people as I can. And so we had an impact goal. And I know I told her, and she was like, not knowing that I was coming from this place of like, let's all just push, do better than we really thought we could. And when we didn't meet it and we fell short of it by 50%, and we had our recap call, she was like freaking out. She thought I was going to fire her. This is what she told me way after the fact. I had no idea. And I got on the phone and I'm like, oh my God, like we crushed it. And she was like, what? She said, well, we didn't meet our goal. And I was like, no, but look at what we did do. Like we went so far beyond what I ever thought we could do because we really pushed ourselves for that, really out there goal. Like it's amazing, right? And she was like, huh? I don't think she knew. I don't think she knew that I was, going to be pleased with it, because a lot of people have just trained themselves to only be feeling successful when they've achieved a goal. That means nothing about you. It really doesn't. You're putting that belief onto yourself. What you should really be thinking about is, how can I push myself beyond what is safe, what feels safe, just to check a box, okay? That's my preaching rant on that piece, because I promise you, you will achieve more. And not checking a box doesn't mean anything about you. It just means you worked really hard and you got great results. Okay, so you've got your goals. Let's change the A from achievable or attainable into all in. Okay, let's just do that. And then once you've got your goals, make a plan to work towards them. It doesn't have to be broken down day to day. Just give yourself a rough idea of the steps that you probably have to take, do this, do that. Not like granular, but just moving this thing forward. And that'll be enough. And then when you share your goals with your team, your family, your friends, whoever you need to, that will help you hold yourself accountable. They'll probably ask you about it. Hey, how's that going? That's why I don't really share stuff until I know for sure that I'm probably going to do it. Not for sure, that I know for sure that I am doing it, because I don't want to put that energy out there unless I feel like I'm ready to be held accountable by sharing it. So when you share those goals, it's time to take action. Stay intentional. Be focused on your goals all year long, revisit them. If you work on a purpose statement like we did in our Elevate group, we are talking about ways. I literally was like, do you have a laminator? And she said, yeah. And I said, print it out, laminate it, tape it in your shower. Tell your husband this is going in the shower, tape it in the shower. Now it's waterproof. When you're in that like cone of silence, this, box that's just like a silence chamber where for me, all of my best thoughts come. I also have a pad, not currently because we used it all. My kids started drawing on it, but I have a waterproof, it's called Shower Notes. They have it on Amazon. It's like $10. Waterproof paper that you can write on with a pencil and a little place to stick your pencil so that you can write down the thoughts you have in the shower if you have really clear thoughts in the shower because your phone isn't distracting you, nobody's talking to you. I think really good thoughts in the shower or when I'm trying to go to sleep at night. That's a whole other thing. But put your purpose statement, put your goals in the shower, put it on your mirror when you're brushing your teeth. The point is to continuously remind yourself because that will nudge you back on track every single day. That will nudge you in the right direction every single day. It's not enough to just write it down. It's not enough to just tell someone. You need to remind yourself daily. And you'll watch the magic happen. This is also part of manifestation. It's just about keeping things top of mind, right? So these are the 6 ways to be more intentional in your business. Remember your why. Spend some time thinking about it. Why did you become a PR pro? Why did you, Cone of Silence from Get Smart. I know the show. I didn't watch too many episodes, but I have seen it. And I didn't know Cone of Silence was from there. Good reference. Okay, we have our why. Remember why you're on this journey. Keep that as your North Star. Allow it to help you make decisions one way or another. 2, focus on time management. Be very intentional with how you spend your time, where you're giving your energy, how your energy ebbs and flows each day, and give that focused, creative, strategic flow state energy when you are not being disrupted by meetings and calls and emails. Be intentional with your time management. Lead your team with kindness, trust, and respect. Pay attention to relationships. Be a good listener. You have to let go of perfectionism. Just because you're being intentional does not mean that you need to be perfect. Take meaningful action towards reaching your goals and building the business you want for yourself. If it doesn't align with your vision and values, it's a clear no. Also, help your team to be more intentional too. You are the agency leader. You are the role model. Allow them to be part of the goal setting process. Give out praise. Share constructive feedback and empower your team to do the same so that your agency will overall just be better for it. Everybody is invested. Set goals for yourself and make a plan to work on them. And don't feel you have to set an achievable goal. Set an all-in goal. Work harder than you probably would have if you were just safe, and watch what you're able to achieve. 3x. We 3x'd our revenue 1 year. So there you go. If you feel that you are not quite living like your full potential, when I talk about work-life integration, building a business you love, feeling that you are living on purpose in your life, that you really understand what you are doing with your life and your business, your purpose, how you want to feel in your business, how you want to show up in your life, showing up intentionally, living fully, being energized. We have a wait list for the next round of high performance group coaching. It's called Elevate. We have loved the beta group. It's been amazing. I'm so proud of the transformations. amazing. So if you're interested, just jump on the wait list. We'll share more when we open up the applications. But that's what I have for you guys today. No Black Friday deals. Please just focus on intentionality in your business and your life. Wrap up the year setting yourself up for success and feeling empowered by your business in the new year. Anybody have any questions for me? I'll stick around like I always do for a few minutes. Thank you guys so much for being here. Anybody? And Nelson, I know, here's what he said. I knew I was going to come back to it. He tested positive on Monday after going to an event last Wednesday where there were over 50 people, which is likely where I picked it up. Felt lousy Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, but feeling a bit better today. So thanks for the kind thoughts and wishes. Nelson, also continue to kind of take it easy. COVID's really weird. It has this engine that just keeps going and you'll feel great. Like I had a day where I was like, oh my God, I'm past this. I feel amazing. And the next day I felt, I'm not to like discourage you. I hope it continues, but get your sleep, really pay attention. Don't push yourself too early, too soon. I felt amazing. And the very next day I lost my sense of smell. I lost my sense of taste. Everything's back to normal now, but I had no energy. I felt completely like foggy headed. I couldn't get out of bed. And I had gone on, I think, a Facebook Live and I was like, I feel great. It's been a week and I'm like over this thing. I'm testing negative. So just know that it's kind of like this weird thing that evolves in you and you don't really know. Like some people never feel anything. Like I had the sniffles for a day and now I'm fine. And you're like, huh. My husband was foggy headed and lacked any kind of, he had what they call it brain fog and he lacked energy and motivation for 3 months. He's just now starting to feel better. Haven't lost taste or smell, just don't have as much energy as I usually do. Yeah. I was surprised that my husband and I both lost sense of taste and smell on day 8, which was so weird. When I first got COVID, I was euphoric and then crashed. Euphoric? That's so weird. Yeah, so it's a weird deal. I hope, everybody stays healthy. There's a lot of weird, crazy stuff going around. I think because all of our immune systems are like suppressed from being held up in our homes for 2 years. My kids are so kind of gross, honestly. My son sucks his thumb and he bites his nails. And he touches everything. And I'll be like, did you wash your hands? And he's like, yeah. I know he didn't. I'm like, go wash your hands. Mom, I already did. I know you did not wash your hands. And going like this under the water doesn't count. So they're always like touching and then putting their fingers in their mouth. But they have pretty good immune systems, honestly. Like I think it's disgusting, but for the most part, I think it's helped them build some good immunity. Like when my kid was 4 and licking the handrails at Disneyland, and I was like, maybe that has contributed to a pretty strong immune system. But it's all going around. There's a lot of crazy viruses. So stay healthy and, safe. And Nelson, I hope you start to really feel better long term and this is behind you. Oh, no, I'm sure. But it happens. I mean, obviously, you love her. Didn't do that on purpose. My son got it at family camp, and then we all got it. Came home with it. Did not feel awesome. So that's what I have for you guys today. Have a wonderful rest of your day. I will tell you right now, am I going to be on for Thanksgiving? Definitely not on Thanksgiving. Yeah, no Facebook Live next week. So just want to wish you and your family a wonderful, happy Thanksgiving. However you choose to celebrate. I'm hosting this year. We're very casual. Everyone chips in. And we eat on paper plates. They're like, or like nice plastic plates from Costco, but nobody wants to do the dishes. We're not fancy. It's very cash. It's just a nice meal. And everybody gets to be together. So that's what we're doing. And Nelson, how long did it take me to recover? I was probably more like 6 weeks. But like, first year you're not hosting. We just host, but my dad makes the turkey. Everybody brings a good side dish. My parents, they're good cooks on these like fundamentals, the big entree dishes. So they'll bring that. And so for COVID, I think it was like 6 weeks or so with like days where I felt better and then days where I felt worse. And then I kind of felt all the way better, and just seeing my husband really struggle for like 3 months with brain fog. And now he's feeling that motivation come back. That was really hard because he drives projects forward. He's very effective. He's very like good at moving things forward and keeping his team, accountable, moving forward, keeping clients on track. And he just didn't have it. And that's such a part of his identity, is just how effective he is at leading projects and driving them forward. So he didn't have that for 3 months. He was really depressed and kind of lost. It sucks. I know, believe me, I was like, oh my God, 6 weeks sucks. He was like 3 months, not to discourage you in any way, but just to know, like, take it seriously, that you need to, really give yourself rest and feel like you're not pushing yourself too hard, too soon. That's it. Because maybe we did. I don't know. Anyway, have a wonderful Thanksgiving. I am so thankful for all of you in this community. I hope you know that. I try to express it every single day. I love you all so much. I love the community we've built and the support that we all give to each other. Honestly, magic happens. Like, if you don't believe that, the magic that happened when our member asked for info on a TED Talk, and poof, somebody who just did a TED Talk showed up on the call. This community is magic. That's my proof. I'll see you guys soon. Happy Thanksgiving. Take care. Bye.